It feels good.
It feels good to be back. I'm here in either Sydney.
Or I'm in Wollongong. You'll never know.
No, I just said I'm in Sydney.
Oh.
The listeners trust me more than you.
That's fair. We are back in person, which means the soundboard is back.
For this one episode,
Yeah.
we will completely forget about its existence,
Yep.
but it is technically still here.
It is here, and that means intro time.
Oh,
Good evening, everyone, and welcome.
Feels good to hear it.
Implications.
yeah. It's
of
been a while
Phineas
since
and
I've
Ferb
actually just
podcast.
Yeah.
heard it.
And being able to talk over the top of it.
Actually, I retract my previous statements. I need to work on that.
We do need to fix the theme song, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty lazy, so.
Exactly.
Making a podcast. So, welcome back to the implications of Phineas and Ferb, where this episode, I think we're actually discussing Phineas and Ferb for
Yeah,
once.
I think this episode we might actually do what we're here for and start off with an episode.
Yeah. We have got
Season 2, episode...
29.
Holy moly.
Yeah, we are
We are
really
getting into
through
the
it.
30s. Holy moly.
hmm We are doing the Lizard Whisperer
Yep.
and
Robot Rodeo.
Robot.
Robot Rodeo. I don't know why I struggled with that.
You
Robot
tried.
Radio,
You tried, and that's what matters.
I guess.
So what else is there to do than jump right in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, I've got nothing else to tell you. I've
Yeah.
already caught up.
Mm.
Already here. Instead
Yeah.
of doing, you know what? I found a secret.
Yeah.
I've got a secret.
Mm.
It's a bit of a life hack, actually.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't take it as advice, though,
Mm.
because it's definitely not advice.
Mm-hmm.
But university
Mm.
is a lot easier if you don't attend. If you're stressing about getting to a lecture, it's all right. Don't
go to it.
Yeah, and then you won't be stressing about it for sure.
That's awful advice.
It is, because then I'm going to get to a test, which I have today.
Today. What time?
yes. Well, I can take it from now
Mm.
till 6. So as long as I'm at home before 6, I should be okay.
Cool.
It is my least good subject because I just don't... anyway.
Fair enough.
P's get degrees.
Degrees.
That's actual
Amen.
advice.
Oh, and we can stay stuff in sync now because
We're here.
in the same
There
room.
isn't a delay on Discord or anything.
It's bloody
It's
beautiful.
almost like seeing me in person is so much better.
Yeah, seeing you in person is a gift and I treasure it. So
Me too.
Phineas and Ferb.
Except for that hair. No, it's
I-
actually not that bad.
I dyed my hair red for the listeners. I would post it on Instagram, but I'm pretty lazy. So
You have posted on Instagram.
oh yeah, I posted on my Instagram. That's in the description.
Oh,
Go
we-
follow my personal.
Yeah, because somehow
Yeah.
Xander, one of our listeners that we talk
Shout
to,
out to Xander.
thank you, Xander, for listening to us. You're
Mhm.
actually pretty cool sometimes.
Yeah.
Didn't know you're a musician
Yeah.
to a certain degree. He's like, what, you've released music? And we're like,
Yeah.
we promote it all the time.
on the podcast.
We assumed so.
Mm.
So Elysian.
Yeah. I dyed my hair red. I think it actually works because the red and black. I don't mind.
Red and black is a nice aesthetic.
Yep. I finally have completed my lifelong mission of matching my laptop.
'Cause you're a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
I'm a gamer.
So now-
Emphasis on gay.
So now my headphones, my laptop, my hair, and my shoes and my clothes all red and black.
Yeah, but red and black is nice. Most
Yeah,
people
it's a good color
don't
combo.
give it to their hair,
Yeah.
but I do like the idea.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind of dyeing it just dark. But I thought the blonde was just I was getting sick of it. So
Yeah, no, you weren't the only one. Okay, actually,
episode of
Ferb now.
Phineas and Ferb. I can't believe we promised that we were going to talk
No,
about Phineas
we
and Ferb
didn't.
on the podcast. That
You-
was some bullshit right
That
there.
was some bullshit. All right, tell me about a
So-
chameleon.
Yeah, so in the Lizard Whisperer, it starts off with they made a frozen yogurt machine.
Yep.
They declare it one of their best inventions yet. Can't help but agree.
Yeah,
They're
if
like
you-
unlimited frozen yogurt. I'm like, fuck yeah.
done.
Sometimes you don't need to end the world. You don't need to do things extremely. You just need to do it to the
Do
maximum
you know
capacity
how many
that you need.
people who have won capitalism because of frozen yogurt?
A lot.
I assume at least one,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of frozen yogurt places.
Exactly.
So,
And also, like, what more do you need than unlimited frozen yogurt for yourself?
food,
Yeah.
that's water, that's it.
Yeah. you're
Survival.
sorted.
But
So-
as they're doing that, they see a lizard.
Yeah, they
little
see a
lizzy
lizard.
boy.
And turns out it's a chameleon. Also turns out that Ferb speaks chameleon, which is very cool.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He's a lizard whisperer.
Yeah, he like does hand gestures and,
Have-
and
have
speaks
you-
to it, and it
Have you seen a
rolls over.
whisperer, like a baby whisperer or anything in reverse?
Nope.
You
Oh,
have.
I've seen Woody Dow hypnotize a chicken in year 8
That counts. Yeah.
Farm. Yep.
Woody Dow, the chicken whisperer.
Yep. Nice.
See, it's easier when you're a chicken yourself. Because he's pretty cooked.
Because he's a cock.
Yeah, and he's a cock. I was going for the cooked, but yeah.
I might have to cut that.
No, I've seen a horse whisperer.
Oh, nice.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
And it even leads into Rodeo later. But
Yeah, very nice.
he was there and he's like, I'm a horse whisperer. And people were like, Well, I was a kid. And then they brought in an angry horse. You could tell he was angry because he had a long face. No. Why are we like this? No, the horse was like pissy and didn't like getting into. It's really funny. You know the trailers?
Yeah.
The problem the horse had was that he doesn't get into trailers. They delivered him in a trailer. Anyway, he like did stuff, and the horse actually kind of liked him. It was really cool.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so
Good for him.
I believe that Ferb is a lizard whisperer.
Fair enough. Ferb can speak a lot of different languages and do a lot of different
But
things.
he didn't
so
even like speak. He just like
Yeah.
hand signals and shit. And he fed it mushrooms.
That's probably why I liked him. So
Food.
we get one of the greatest lines in all of Phineas and Ferb, and it's like 2 sentences into this episode that's
Yeah.
otherwise pretty chill.
It's
Actually,
very
this is a
funny.
very good episode,
It
and
is
it's like
good.
2 minutes in, and the episode does not top that for the entire rest of it.
Yeah.
And this is a good episode, so like
Yeah.
that speaks to the quality of the line. Isabella comes in and is like, "Oh, you got a chameleon? That's cool. It's a North American chameleon. I recognize it from my fireside."
Yeah,
Hair
here's a
girls
book.
yeah.
I'm reading about it. It's quite intense.
Yeah.
This is a very special thing. Here are
Yeah.
some science
He's
words.
chameleons, yeah. And then Phineas goes, "All right, then. Well, we'll name him Steve." And Isabella goes, "Well, why Steve?" And he goes, "Well, he looks like a Steve."
Can't argue with that.
They're not wrong. He does look like a Steve.
And it's like those names like Jonathan, Steve, George, where you're just like,
Yep.
yep.
I do love, I love animals with either overly simple names or overly complicated names.
Oh, like you get dogs and they're like Pampers Kingdom of the Six.
Yeah, like a
Wonderful.
cat named Lord Whifflestomp III,
That's it.
and
yeah.
then a dog named Bob. That's funny.
yeah.
Both
I
of those
like
are humorous.
Bob. I really like my horse in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. What's your name?
I've got 3.
Mm.
Epona. Yeah.
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 That's the one
It's
everyone
not like
uses. Yeah.
The best horse in the game.
Mm.
Then you've got George.
Mm.
And then my personal favourite, Horsey Boy.
Horsey boy.
Horsey Boy.
So we then
So the chameleon gets big.
yes.
Because of Jeremy's...
Oh, actually, hold on. First,
guitar
I'll just
lessons.
mention that Monogram is sending Perry to check Doof out, not because he's done anything evil, but because he outbid him on a sweet, solid body maple top vintage guitar.
I like how specific the guitar is because...
But it's also unspecific. It's not a brand.
Yeah, no,
See,
I understand.
normally guitars
they
are
not-
referred to as brand, but they can't refer to the brands because it's a show.
So it's sweet.
So it's just like a sweet, solid body vintage.
But they know what they're
guitar.
talking about.
They know what they know their guitars.
They've definitely tried to buy a guitar, I think, and have been sniped before.
Yep.
they're
And that's
like,
how this episode started.
we're putting this in.
So that's what was going on with. That's the wrong button, but still. Do love. Where's the
was
one that
going
yells
with-
Perry? And the soundboard is back.
It
Feels
is,
good.
and you even remember to use it.
So they head to.
Oh, audio cues. I love it.
Oh, the immersion. We're back to our prime once again.
Oh, prime time.
We peaked episode 13 of season 1 and
16.
then 16 of season 1, and then it's been all downhill since, but we are back.
Except for that little Jeff Swampy bit.
Oh, that was a
That was
no,
a
that
peak as well. No, it was an outlier. It doesn't. All right. Anyway,
operating at 50%, just pretty much consistently and slowly deteriorating with 100%.
so Doof's entire goal is to learn a sick guitar solo to summon aliens that helped the Egyptians build pyramids.
yes.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
And that
And entire thing gets covered in maybe a minute.
and it gets overshadowed by a giant chameleon that's a dinosaur that
Yep.
keeps disappearing.
This has true. I think this is probably the episode. You know how season 3 and 4 is just utterly whack and insane, and then season 1 and 2 they're a little bit restrained.
Yeah.
This is the episode where they just stop giving a fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. You don't realize how ridiculous it is until someone tries to describe it to you.
And then you compare it to the first episode where they
Build a
a
roller
roller
co-
coaster.
Get out of here.
Just a roller coaster.
I like summoning aliens with a sick guitar solo.
I learned off the ancient Egyptians.
That's how the ancient Egyptians used them. They've just been he said, no, not a.
Don't cover it in too specific though, because we don't cover Doof and Smurf's backstories
That's
in this
very
podcast.
true. What's an army? It's not an army. When you have a bunch of ships, he uses
Armada.
Armada. Yeah, it summons an armada of aliens that have been waiting outside Earth for someone to play this specific guitar solo.
I, for one, support that. I think aliens should just do that.
Yeah, they should do it via sound. And Jeremy teaches them it.
Yeah, teaches
love
him a
that.
guitar solo. He's
That's
fine
so
with
good.
it. I also love how the guitar solo is in like some sort of mode. It's like not major or minor. It's like something weird, like
Yeah,
Dorian or
it is.
whatever. Yeah.
It sounds a little Egyptian.
Yeah.
Because the Egyptians came up with this guitar solo that summons aliens to help build pyramids.
Yep. Modes tend to sound foreign, no matter which one they've got, because
Wait, do they sound foreign to other people as well?
because major and minor are the Western modes, and then anything that isn't major or minor is generally referred to as a mode, and it's just any system, any key that isn't major or minor. And normally
if
those are used in other countries. So, for example, Dorian was really common in Ireland.
So
So if you want to make Irish music, you play it in Dorian.
Okay, but if I played a major key or whatever and went to someone who plays with Dorian, an Irish person, and was like, what's this? They would be foreign music.
Yeah, they'd be like, it's a Western-sounding song. Because
Right.
our understanding of music is very, very Western-centric. We've decided on major and minor. We've decided minor means sad and major means happy.
Well, it
Other
does,
countries
though.
don't have those associations. The only reason that major really sounds happy to you is because it's a fairly stable key center and you've been trained to think of it as happy. You can
But
make it sound sad.
But it sounds happy.
Yeah, but that's
I was
cultural
taught
association.
Year 7 music. You can't argue with Mr. Pardo. He played a chord on the piano and he played another one and he was like, which one
Sad,
sounds
happy.
happy? And I was like, that one's happy.
Mm.
So therefore, major keys are happy.
Yep,
That's how it works.
that makes sense to me.
They are
And
happy.
It's like color association. The
No.
reason that you think of red as the color of like fire and love and all that stuff is because you associate it with those things. There's no actual inherent
so you're
meaning to
saying
red.
I'm only happy around major chords?
Yes.
Joke's on you, I'm not happy.
What a mood.
All right.
So yeah, moving away from the music theory.
Chameleon gets big.
Yes, Steve gets gianted, is
And
what I wrote in my note.
apparently, Phineas and Ferb, people who built a frozen yogurt machine with infinite amount of frozen yogurt, struggle to find him. I don't get it. These boys can do anything, and then the
Can't
chameleon.
find a chameleon.
Yeah, and it's massive, and it's huge.
We also get another fantastic line, not quite as good as the first one, but
Mm.
really good, where they find a giant chameleon footprint in the backyard. And they're like, oh my God, it's a giant footprint. And Isabella goes, not just any giant footprint, it's a giant chameleon footprint. And Phineas goes, you know what this means? A giant chameleon took Steve.
This is ridiculous. It's much more common to have a giant chameleon take your pet than it is for your pet
to grow.
chameleon
And
to grow
the thing
giant.
is, that makes sense when you say it out loud. Like,
A
that
little
giant
bit.
chameleons don't exist. But also, like, it just seems so ridiculous in context.
It's just like, they took Steve.
So we also, and then Steve rampages through the town, and
Rampage is a strong word.
yeah, he just kind of runs.
He just kind of walks.
Yep.
He's just having an all right time. He's scared of noises, particularly Candace.
Now, if in Australia, back to the Outback Australia podcast, we're one of the countries that still has dinosaurs.
Yeah, we don't need this bullshit chameleon needs to get bigger.
Yeah.
We've got a crocodile.
You ever seen a saltwater croc? Fuck you up.
You know who hasn't? Evolution for 2 million years. They haven't evolved because
they're
they're the
already perfect.
They're the perfect killing machine. They were alive when dinosaurs were. Have you seen a dinosaur recently?
They
No,
won.
They died. The crocodile didn't.
And we were talking about me and my roommates were talking about Australian animals
Yep.
yesterday. I was really surprised some of the animals that they didn't know. They didn't realize that there was brown snakes in Australia, which
What do
was
you mean?
pretty interesting.
They're like the most normal snake you get.
Yeah, I know. And they were like, yeah, no, brown snake, what?
Imagine a rope, but it kills you.
Yeah, 100%. Brown snakes are so aggressive too. They'll fuck you up.
They will. This is why you don't have rope in Australia. It's too dangerous because there's the chance you just pick up a brown snake instead.
Yeah. And I told my roommates about the concept of a snake whacker, and they were surprised that those exist.
What do you mean by snake? I don't know if I know this.
Handle, big long bit of metal, like as long as possible. Whack it down from a distance, chop snake in half.
Okay, I like that idea, but I don't want the listeners getting the wrong idea. We don't use those in Australia. What you use is your thong. You pick up your foot, you take off your
And for our American listeners, we're talking about flip-flops.
Yes, you take your flip-flop off. That sounds wrong.
Yeah, it does.
You take your flip-flop off and you smack that snake in half.
100%. That's how my
we
family does it. That's how my mum does it. That's how my grandma does it. That's how I'll do
That's
it.
how my Uncle Benji used to before he lost his feet. All right.
So yeah, we've got real life dinosaurs in Australia.
Yeah, we don't have to make anything.
We
bigger.
don't have to
Can you
make up
imagine
a
a
dinosaur.
big crocodile?
I don't need to imagine a big crocodile. Have you heard of the Dominator?
Was that like a Steve?
It's an infamous crocodile in the Northern Territory that was like
7
meters long or something.
No,
Like, it
because
was
they can get up to
huge.
10.
Yeah, it was like
can get
one of the
10
biggest
feet.
like 10 meters.
No, 10 feet.
Yeah,
Like,
you're probably right.
Like,
Probably 10
you know how big 10 feet is? It's 3 meters.
It's quite large.
That's longer than the room we're sitting in.
Oh. Yeah, that's pretty big.
That crocodile's fucking massive.
So yeah, we showed him a picture of the Dominator, and he was like, "What the fuck? That's photoshopped." And I was like, "No,
Nope.
that's Australia.
Nope, that's homebrew. That's the shit we get.
That's where we're from." So yeah, we're used to the idea of large animals, large reptiles just rampaging through our towns because we see crocodiles in the streets every day. We get a great line where Candace tries to show Steve to Linda, and is like, here's Steve, he's a chameleon. And the mum looks up and is like, oh, where is he? And Phineas is like, he's right here, can we keep him? And Linda
she's
goes,
like-
is he invisible? And he goes, yes he is.
I love it.
Great
I
little
love
parody.
it.
Yeah,
I love
it's just such a good show.
Yes, he is.
It's just a little lines like that remind me that this show is just like, mwah. The writing is so good.
It is fantastic. Anyway, so with Doof's plan to, summon aliens, I don't want to say it again. He actually does it. He plays a very cool little solo.
Yes.
And the aliens come. Like, they're there. They are in...
Aliens, I wrote aliens exist in this universe? 7 question marks.
Well, mate.
Oh, yeah, true.
There's a fuck ton of
Yeah,
aliens.
there's been aliens everywhere.
We've met lots.
Yeah.
The fact that Doof has a hotline for them is more frightening. So he booty calls the aliens. They come. And before he can give them any commands, Perry stops the alien invasion.
Yep, he does an inverted guitar solo.
All right, you got to explain this to me.
I was very proud. I was like amazed by this because like a musical stave, right?
Yep.
The notes go up from the bottom to the top.
Yes.
And the intervals between a note are the same if you flip them. So if you play from C to G, that's a fifth. But if you play from G to C, that's still a fifth. You're just descending instead of ascending, right?
Yep.
Perry gets the sheet music, flips it upside down, and then he plays the guitar solo again. So he's playing it inverted. He's playing it backwards and upside down. All the intervals are the same.
Yeah.
The guitar solo is different because instead of going from G to C, he'd go from C to G because he's playing it backwards.
Yeah.
He just plays it inverted.
So
when he turns the sheet music upside down, he actually plays it upside down,
Hell yeah. That's what I wanted to
which
hear.
is very cool. Although I'm amazed that a first-time guitar learner, like Doof's never done guitar before, is learning guitar from sheet music and not tab.
True. And also that was that was not an easy...
It's not a beginner guitar solo, no.
No.
And he's got a full... Oh, and he dropped a lot on this guitar. Like, it's a nice guitar. In fact...
It was the one he sniped.
Yeah, it's Dr. Doofenshmirtz's guitar that he plays appears to be a Gibson Les Paul Jr. That's from the trivia thing from there.
Oh, very
so-
fancy. Do you have a current auctioneer price for a Gibson Les or whatever you said?
Gibson Les Paul Jr. Search it, and the first thing on shopping, the clones of them are going for about 1,500, but I'm guessing the vintage ones would be a lot more.
But
So
that's still a significant amount of money.
this is the guitar.
Yeah, that does look like the one. Okay, anyway. So
Oh, and by the way, Major Monogram's guitar is a red Gibson Explorer. Just chuck that in there.
Okay. So,
Very
Perry's like,
music-centric episode, isn't it?
Perry's like, if he plays this guitar solo and they come down, if I play it inverted, they must go away.
Yep, makes sense.
First, we're going to talk about how Perry fucking shreds. Like,
He's a platypus. His arms are tiny. He goes hard.
He hasn't got any lessons from Jeremy, and here he is pulling that shit.
So Perry just knows how to play the guitar.
He does.
Glad we've clarified that.
I know Tom Cruise does, but I didn't realize how good he was. And then he puts it behind his back for flair, I assume. And then the second thing I'm going to point out is you could have got rid of the aliens. You could have got rid of the aliens by just not playing anything. Like, he didn't need to do it inverted. If the aliens came down because of the guitar solo, they go back when there's no guitar solo because they weren't there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he could just...
Or they'll just, like, chill there, and then they'll get bored and just leave.
Yeah.
Like,
But
way.
it was sick, so I'm very happy with it.
Yeah, no, I was way happy. Like, far better that than the alternative of Perry not shredding a guitar solo. Are you kidding?
Yeah, very fair. Can we just break it? Like, I just want to say it again. Doof looks at an ancient Egyptian
hieroglyphic.
hieroglyphs.
Hieroglyphic.
Okay, I'm not going to try and say it. That gets a guitar solo that summons aliens that build the Great Pyramid of Giza, and then a platypus, a teal platypus, kicks him away, plays the guitar solo inverted, and sends the alien armada back to space. That's the B plot. That's the B-side plot.
See, normally in this show, we discuss the implications, the ridiculous things that can be extrapolated from the show. There is no need to extrapolate. The ridiculous shit's on display.
Yeah, holy fuck. Also, songs don't go to space.
They do if you've got an omnidirectional amplifier.
Omnidirectional amplifier-nator. Sorry, I forgot about that.
Now, the real question, is the omnidirectional amplifier inator? Like, what brand of amp is it?
Boom. Yui. He brought out his ultimate
Yui boom.
It's just a Yui boom. He's literally just made a boom 3 and he's just like, fuck yeah.
Those are good speakers.
No, they are actually.
They're very good
They're
speakers.
quite nice.
Now, I've got...
Real quick, there's also a nice speaker called there's JBL's made an Extreme 3. Anyway,
Ooh.
it's not quite the big boy, but it's semi-big and it's got a nice amount of bass because it actually has the 2 sides of it that are subwoofers.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway.
I have 2 more lines. 2 more really good lines from this episode.
All right.
One.
Oh, we've still got Maya. Holy fuck.
Yeah, we've got a lot to cover. So when Monogram sees Steve, Carl's all... That was my stomach grumbling. Jeez, I'm hungry. I'm ready for a pub feed.
Yeah. Oh, chicken snitty.
Yes.
Oh,
pub
I could
chicken snitty and a
with
beer.
a chicken snitty right now.
Yeah.
Probably a furphy.
Let's wrap this podcast up. I want my
pint.
snitty.
Oh,
Pint.
okay.
Okay.
Do it.
Yeah,
Alright.
we got to go fast.
Alright,
So the first line, Monogram sees Steve and immediately goes, "You know, I tried to recruit him, but I don't think we have a hat big enough."
That's good.
It's
I
a
really
very
like
good
it.
line.
I was like, that's cool. I tried to recruit him, and his hat. We don't have a hat because he would make a cool agent.
Yeah, because
If
it
you
doesn't. It doesn't matter if he's trained to be an agent. It doesn't matter if he's qualified for the job. They don't get hats custom ordered. They've got a selection of hats. If you don't fit one, you're not getting fucking hired.
You're out. That's it. No, but can you imagine them having that chameleon? They'd be like, call in Kong. No, call in Steve.
Call in Steve.
They like chopper
It's the
him.
big gun.
And then drop in and he just spins
The
that.
Godzilla option.
The Godzilla.
And then I've got one more line.
Okay.
Give up? Give up? The day may come
don't say
when
it
we
all.
give up on our fruitless searches after a mere 11 minutes.
No.
But that day is not today.
I know.
The day
No,
may
stop.
come when our
Stop.
favourite reptile
Stop.
may be lost from
Stop.
our memories and his enduring
No,
love of
it's-
mushrooms forgotten.
leave it for
but that
Ferb.
day is not
Leave it
today.
for Ferb.
Today we search.
No.
We will search
No.
for him in the streets. We will search for him in the trenches.
No,
we
you're
will
steal-
search for him in the
you're
alleys and the
stealing
mini
Ferbs.
malls and the cul-de-sacs of
You're
this fair
stealing
land.
Ferbs.
We'll search for him in the
Sunlight.
multi-level car parks and the municipal recreational
No.
facilities.
No.
We are, and we few, we happy few, we small band of brothers and a girl from across the street. We shall not cease until he is found.
You needed more of a British accent.
I did, yeah.
It was very good. I needed the Union Jack behind you from
Yep.
the imported delivery truck, which was hilarious.
Yes, very
And
funny
then,
line.
second of all, they actually paid Ferb's voice actor.
Yeah,
Like-
Thomas Brody Saxter actually got his money.
He actually got paid that week. And he also talks a bit in the Rodeo in the next ep as well.
Yeah.
And fun bit of trivia, that is the longest line in Phineas and Ferb.
Yep.
And
46
it's delivered
seconds.
by the boy who I thought could not speak for like the first season when I watched this as a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy shit, aren't they clever and smart and funny?
Great line.
Great line.
It's so funny. It's so
just,
patriotic.
It's just such a speech.
Yeah.
It's got all those
fact,
fancy techniques.
little
you
bit of
could do with
trivia.
English.
It takes lines from Lord of the Rings, the character Aragorn's speech in Return of the King. A day may
Oh.
come, but that day is not today.
Yeah.
Takes some lines from Winston Churchill's "We shall
Yeah.
fight on the beaches" speech,
I heard that.
and takes some lines from William Shakespeare's Henry V. "We happy few, we band of brothers."
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's taken stuff from some famous monologues.
That's why it sounded impactful.
Yeah. Good writing. 10 out of 10.
Copying. No, I'm kidding.
So that's it for my episode.
Okay, good. I'm glad we finished with that one. On to the next one. So I'll break down the synopsis. So the title is Robot Rodeo or Rodeo.
Yep.
It's rodeo here. We say rodeo. So now, you ready for it? So it's like a rodeo, but with robots.
Holy shit.
I know.
That's a plot twist.
Holy moly. I had no idea that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, holy moly. Anyway,
They're really pushing the envelope with those
they're
titles.
really pushing it. They're making sure you know what you get, and you get what you get. Except it really should be called the Fog Machine episode.
Yeah, because
'Cause
it's about a fog machine.
Yeah, it's the thing that ruins the world here. He presses a button, and the entire tri-state area gets covered in fog. That is a fog machine.
Now, let me tell you, we have a fog machine right here in this
It's
room.
literally sitting underneath me.
Yeah, because...
We had it fogged up before.
Yeah,
Nothing says podcast with the boys of Phineas and Ferb like a
fog,
fog
machine.
machine.
Because this is a podcast that highly depends on the visual element.
Yes.
Shout out to the people watching on YouTube. But yeah, no, we have a fog machine right here, and let me tell you, that thing is quite powerful, especially considering it cost $55, which is cheap as hell. That's Australian money. That's like $30 American.
Yeah.
And it fills this entire room quite quickly, right?
It does. It does.
But no fog machine that I'm aware of, especially one that's big enough that you can pick it up and move it like Doof does, would be able to literally smoke up an entire town for several minutes.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
That is absolutely
That's
mental.
actual like weather fog.
Yeah, it's more than a
weather
weather
machine.
machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it wasn't even that large, and it was able to circulate that volume of air.
It's
He would need
ridiculous.
like a hurricane. Just boom. Anyway, it's very cool and makes the plot very funny when Candace wants to show her mum the contraption. Surely Linda is catching on. Because
Yep.
whenever Candace starts, something weird happens. The entire town was covered in fog, and she's just like, yeah, no, this is normal. This is a normal thing to happen.
She's
No.
not the brightest, is she?
No, her
But it's
sight,
far funnier.
Her sight is very selective.
Oh no, but it does actually point out. Although you mean sight and like oversight, but it does point out that she needs glasses.
True.
So,
True. But
maybe
also,
her
she just
eyesight is
doesn't
literally bad.
look up. Like she'll look at a
Yeah.
fence.
Yeah, you. But then again, after a million times of Candace telling you to look in the backyard, you just take a glance and
No,
be
your
like, yeah, there's
eyes are
nothing
too
there.
busy rolling.
Yeah. Nice.
Anyway, so the Rodeo's nice. Rodeo. Why do I keep saying Rodeo? Fun fact about me.
You say Rodeo because you have Old Town Road stuck in your head because we sung that song a lot.
I love
The
that
most of the time when you say the word rodeo, you're saying riding down Rodeo in my Maserati sports car.
Yeah,
It's a good song.
I fucking love that song. More song suggestions by us, Old Town Road.
Yep. Everything Lil Nas X has done. Montero's fantastic as well.
I
He's
prefer
stepped up
Old
his
Town
game.
Road.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but it's Old Town Road. Like,
fun fact about me, one of the only scars on my body is this one on my hand. And that was from the one and only rodeo I've been to.
you went nice.
I was a child. I didn't get much of a choice, but I'm kind of glad I went, except for the fact when I tripped over and a rock went through my hand and I bled
Oh.
immensely.
That sounds painful.
And it was dark, so you couldn't really see the blood. It was kind of scary because my hand was there because my hand is quite white. It like reflected the light, but then it started, covered in blood, and then it wouldn't reflect the light. So just my hand like disappeared into blackness, and I could feel
The
like,
stickiness.
blood come out
Oh.
and the pain, and it was probably tripping.
It's very awful.
Yeah,
Very
and I was
unpleasant.
like 8, so it was a good time.
I have a scar on my head.
Was it from a rodeo?
No, it's
Then I don't
by.
give a
I
fuck.
was
No
attacked.
risks.
No, I was attacked by one of the most deadly animals in Australia.
A bull? No.
A gate that had been zip tied shut.
Oh, zip ties do be fucking dangerous.
I ran into that gate. I was playing tips or some shit, and I ran to that gate and I threw it open and I started running through it and it whacked me back in the head.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out. Zip ties will get
Zip
you.
ties and gates and magpies. I'm surprised that I was going to say I'm surprised I don't have a magpie scar, but I do. It's just under my hair.
Real quick as well about injuries as a child, but I didn't actually get one from this, but it really should have. You know how some people have like climbing plants and stuff, and so
Yes.
there's like wires. Well, at this person's house, they had that, but they didn't have the plants. So just occasionally there would be 2 poles and a wire in between. I don't know why they wanted a horizontal wire. And I was a child and it was quite low, so usually it was fine. But I was running around doing tips and I went straight with my neck on it. And I just like flipped back. And my mum was like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's all right." And had like this mark across my neck.
God.
Anyway, it's a good time.
Yeah. Australian youth. The good stuff.
Australian
Growing
youth.
up rural Australia. It's the best and worst way
All
to
right,
grow
we
up.
really need to wrap this
Yeah,
up.
we need to wrap this up.
They do a rodeo. The fog
Yep.
machine is the greatest thing in the world. Perry's the best agent. He's the last agent they call in. They know he'll
Yep.
get them out. Of course he would. I said, yeah, Tom Cruise is the best agent.
Yeah, very nice.
Candace is focused on busting. They keep saying she's unfocused and airy, and I'm like, no.
She's
It's
very
just-
focused. She's just got a specific interest.
Yeah, it's busting her brothers. That's it. She cares more about that than you.
A child that has a very specific interest but then is perceived to be not very good at focusing because they don't focus on the other stuff. Take fucking notes, mum.
That's going to be funny for, like, your family and myself.
Yeah. Because I can spend like 14 hours a day on music, but
That's
math,
true.
not about that.
But you could also spend 14 days on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you do have some issues with attention.
Wow, that's really mean to say.
I know.
My ADHD soul
What
is
does
really
Phineas and
offended.
Ferb smell like? Finally, we've got it answered. I've been
Yep.
asking this for years, and it's one of the best things ever. Motor oil and confidence. I want someone to describe me like that one day.
Do you know what I want? Bottle that shit. I want a Phineas and Ferb cologne.
This brings up a great story. You know how there's ads for men's perfume? You never see them. They're in women's magazines. Because men don't buy men's perfume. Women buy men's perfume. And it raises the biggest question.
Yeah.
What do you want a man to smell like? What smells man? And there is one correct answer. I'll give you a moment to figure it out.
Sandalwood.
It's all right.
What's the answer?
WD-40. WD-40 is the deodorant for men.
What?
Have you smelled WD-40?
No.
Have you used it?
No.
Do you know what WD-40 is?
I know what WD-40 is. Yeah, I've seen the engineering flowchart.
Thank you.
If it should move and it's not moving, WD-40. If it shouldn't move and it is moving, duct tape.
Yeah, and then the rest, don't worry.
Yeah.
No, anyway, smell WD-40. It's like a mix of methylated spirits, alcohol, and like car petrol and like paint, that sort of alcohol smell with some other stuff. It's quite addictive, and I'd wear it if it didn't actually burn my skin off.
Well, there you go.
Motor oil and confidence.
Motor oil and
I
confidence.
want someone to
the best smell.
describe that like you. She could say that at their wedding.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
That's a very kind thing to say. I've also got 2 more notes. Just 2 little notes and then I'm done. One, Rodney is a little bitch.
I hate Rodney.
Yeah. He's awful.
Rodney is the Irving of Love Muffin. Irving of Love Muffin.
You're not wrong. Not because he's necessarily an awful character, but because anyone who opposes Doof that much is just inherently bad.
Yeah,
except
and
for
the
Perry.
way he does it is just a nagging little bitch.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. There's far better ways to defeat Doof, like beating the shit out of him.
They're making a fan.
Yeah. A fan? I got one of those.
Yeah, and a fog machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should apply for Love Muffin. Yeah. Evil sign. You've even got the hair for it now.
That was funny.
That was funny. Play something on the soundboard.
Yeah, we need some sound. Oh, and one more thing. R.I.P. Balloony 2.
Yeah, he didn't last long, Balloony 2. He didn't have the everlasting spray.
Yes.
The reason why I
Okay.
want you to press the soundboard of anything is because I am currently stalling for time as I look at our Gmails, because we did have one and I did respond.
Yes, we did. I'm going to play this.
So,
Mm-hmm.
William Jones, one of them, well, will we sub his name? I don't know. It's one of the most boring names. If you're able to track someone down from William Jones, well done. Because I can assure you there's thousands of them.
Yeah.
He has emailed us with a good question.
Oh, yes.
When are implications of Avatar and implications of Rick and Morty coming out?
So,
Yeah.
God, I would love to do both of those.
Yes, I know.
They're never going to happen.
I know. I said, oh, don't tempt me. They are great and I could talk about them for hours. However, we're struggling just to make one podcast. But when Phineas and Ferb finishes, who knows?
Who knows? I would probably choose Rick and Morty over Avatar.
For implications?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because also we're funny boys. We make jokes.
I like how
and
you think that.
Avatar... I think that we're funny. We're not actually funny, but I laugh at
I
that
laugh
jokes.
at myself. That counts, right?
That counts.
I laugh at you a lot more, though. So maybe we are.
Yo. There's not as many jokes as you can make about Avatar. Every episode will just be us going, Jesus Christ, this show is the perfect way to
Actually-
raise a child. It raised Joe better than his father did.
We are back. We haven't made a dad joke for so long.
Boys are back in town.
Hell yeah. No, Avatar: The Last Airbender is great. I was rewatching season 1. Season 1's actually kind of like,
It's because it was trying to work out whether it was going to be episode of the week or episodic, like a long form thing. And then it settled on episodic, but there was a couple episodes that were just kind of like their own individual things.
It's one of the very few TV series that gets better.
Yeah, consistently better every single time it airs.
Season 2 is better than 1 and season 3 is better than 2. And the ending,
Is the best.
yeah.
It's
People
so good.
should watch it just to know how to write an ending, and then people should watch it so they know how to be a human being.
Yeah, 100%. If you're a child who needs morals, Avatar.
Yeah.
If you're an adult who needs writing lessons, hi D&D, welcome to the podcast. Game of Thrones is pretty good, but like,
What I just thought of, Avatar gave me the human skills to, be a good person. And then Rick and Morty shows me that I shouldn't have to do it.
Yep.
Well, that I shouldn't do it. It just
100%.
ruins all the work that happened. I really
undoes all that progress.
It just undoes
But yeah,
it.
I wouldn't mind doing implications of Rick and Morty. It would be a more adult-leaning podcast. I also feel like that market might be slightly saturated. I feel like
Yeah.
there's probably another Rick and Morty podcast.
Are you sure
we
there's
are
not
the
enough
Phineas and
two
Ferb
white
podcast.
men recording a podcast together out there?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that they're a very rare breed.
Yeah,
I think we should support that industry.
By
We're
doing it
they're
more.
definitely a minority.
They're definitely minority, and you definitely can't call a group of 3 white males a podcast, because that would be very insensitive and not absolutely hilarious. Oh, look, there goes a podcast. Oh, this is so bad.
We're just devolved to just laughing at our own jokes. It's great. So yeah, to answer that question, maybe. We'll see.
Thank you for
Probably
writing
won't.
in, William.
Thanks for writing in. Yeah, if you want to write in, where do people find us?
On my Gmail,
Yeah.
it goes straight to me.
Yep.
The implications of Phineas and Ferb at gmail.com. I don't check my uni email. I check this one more often, but you can understand why I don't respond then. And that's about it.
Yeah, and then if you want to find me, the Twitters, because I always have notifications on for that,
Yep.
of_Ferb. Also hit us up on Instagram. That's where we post little teasers for the episodes. Follow us on there, Implication of Phineas and Ferb. Technically, we do have a TikTok and a Reddit. They are both in the description. Follow them at your own risk.
Yeah, if you want to, please.
What else do we have?
YouTube.
Yeah, follow us on, subscribe and like and hit the notification bell.
Write a
God,
comment,
I hate
write
myself.
something down in the comments.
Yeah,
don't know.
I actually do get the comments as notifications on my phone now. So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh,
so
you could actually do that.
write a YouTube comment. Yeah, well,
Just be like, damn, I wish I was listening to something better.
it's something shorter because this has gone on for like 40 minutes now.
My sister has messaged us about lunch. She
Yep.
knows, she has an idea of where to go.
Oh, sweet. Let's go get a pub schnitty then. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for listening.
schnitty.
And I know what we've done today.
I know what we've done today.
Outro.
Oh, that dad joke.
The implications of Phineas and Ferb. Listen to it whenever you can.
That's Jeff Swampy Marsh. He came on our podcast.
He's so cool.